Hi everyone, my name is Eddie Wang and welcome to predictions of season 4. As we know that a few days back Namco has announced season 4 and they have a few themes for it, which is there is always light in the dark, and if this doesn't hint Jun Kazama, I don't know what it does. So we here in Angola we have a theory that at least two classic characters are going to be shown in this season. One is Jun and the other one is of course Kunimitsu. But we're going to leave these predictions for later on in this video, and let's focus on season 4. And I'm going to tell you that balancing wise, I'm really not excited. I don't think season 3 did a really good job balancing the game. I mean, we got Leroy Smith and Famkum Ram, which are characters that are beyond broken. They are not even fair uh, to play against. Leroy is easy as hell, and it's really uninspiring how easy this character is and how dominant he is. Same can be said for Famkum Ram. Another character that with meter is incredibly strong is Giz. Akuma is pretty much the same character, and Jin, despite I'm not liking what they did with to forward 4, Jin is one of those few characters that actually have seen season 3 and was represented well by Cherry Berry Mango and Chikurin. Cherry Berry Mango even won a tournament using Jin and defeating Julia and stuff, and people think Jin is incredibly very strong. I do not disagree. Jin is a really good character. He is strong despite the nerfs. Some of his stuff are stupid, like this being a wall bounce move, and not many people actually like season 3. I am one of those people, and I do not have great hopes for season 4 either, because I think Jin is going to get worse, even worse than what season 3 is. So my hopes for Jin are really not spiking up, and to me this formula has finally reached its peak. It was at the peak on season 2 and it's coming downhill now from season 3. We got like Zen 1-3, which I don't think he really needed. This made the characters a little bit more stupid, of course. He got some stuff like a new wall bound move. He got some really unnecessary nerfs. I think peak formula of regular Jin is season 2 Jin, right? Because it's the mix of the best versions of Jin since vanilla Tekken. He was a mix of version H of Jin and Tekken 7 and regular Tekken 7. He was really strong. So this season 3 Jin with the lack of forward 4 consistency, I don't really like it. Down back 4, I don't really like it, and I know a lot of Jins that don't. But we are not here to talk about this, because we know that despite these nerfs, Jin is still going to be a really strong character, right? But he's going to get nerfed in season 4. This is what I'm predicting. Jin is going to get nerfed, and we will stop being interested on Jin so much. But still, despite the pessimism, there is some optimist people. Like for example, we all know that Jin is going to get at the best a new transition into Zen, and we don't know what is, but it's probably what they are going to give it and call it a new move. There is some prediction. Snakefang says that this move is going to transition into Zen, this one, and that maybe they are going to add a new extension with this. Sorry, you will be able to transition into forward 4 or into Kankans. Diggs says otherwise, says that Jin power stance should have more pushback on hit or block, and it's minus 10. So if you guys remember, Xiao Yu King, Steve and Brian do have moves that take out guard, and those moves, despite dealing 0 damage, they are pretty useful, and Jin has probably the worst of this type of move. Sorry, type of moves that don't do pretty much anything. The move doesn't do nothing special, so it's really a bad move right now. So I agree with this. He says also Omen extensions like tag 2. If you guys are new to Jin, know that in tag 2 Jin would had like a Omen stance and a secret reversal on Tekken 6. If you perform it forward back during the parry animation, it would do a different animation for the parry, and if you try to attack him during this animation, it will do a Tekken 3 reversal. That was godlike, and they took this out in tag 2, but they gave him the Omen stance, and the Omen stance is something that if you press it 1-4 after you do the power stance, it would enter the Heihachi stance, and from that stance it was able to do, instead of electric wind hook fist like we have right here, it will always do a perfect electric wind god fist. Always. It doesn't matter if he did on the frame or not, his electric would always be 14 frames. Always. It was that fast, it was that godlike. So not only it gave him access to his Tekken 3 Mishima tools, like he had a 16 frames hell sweep that launch just like this one, but it launched it because it would go into the Devil Jin hell sweep into a while standing 4, and then you could combo from there. He also had, instead of Evil Intent, which is this one, he had Laser Cannon, which is mid, and he had Laser Scrapper. And if you guys don't know, in history of Tekken, when Jin gets the Omen stance, if he does a Laser Scrapper or Laser Cannon, if the first hit connects as a counter hit, you're going to take the wall hit, meaning that it's a guaranteed launch for a full combo and stuff like that. It was a gimmick mechanic, but it was really nice. Not many people used it. I believe 1% of the Jin players knew how to use the Omen stance pretty well, and Diggs was among those players. This was an excellent Omen stance player. I remember that seeing setups from Diggs where he used to call respect the switch, and those were godlikes. It was pretty practical back in the day, and he really had those down. So I understand why he missed it. I do miss it, and I think Jin used to be pretty special when he had those secret moves that they have been taken out within every interaction of Tekken. So it kinda sucks. So he had that, he had the Laser Cannon, Electric, Hell Sweep. He also had 1-1-2 as punish, the Dragon Punch instead of ECD1. He had the classic Dragon Punch, and if I'm not mistaken, he also had a command throw, which is the Stone Head. Yeah, this, and of course Diggs also mentions that forward 3 should track to the left, so you cannot sidestep Jin to his bad side. And of course, what is the last one? While standing 1-2 should be more plus when going to Zen, over +2. So that's something that we all can agree on, I think, and those are pretty practical changes. But just as I said, I don't think any of this is going to happen. Jin is going to get actually nerfed and won't get anything interesting going for him. For example, I have my list, and I would say, of course, which is obvious, reduce the pushback of this. It doesn't need to be that close like it was in season 2, but reducing the pushback speed a little bit, it would be great. So maybe we could actually still get combos from a trade against a dick jab, and from long range, like forward 4s, still be able to run into while standing 4 with our stuff, right? Because right now it's really inconsistent as hell, and it requires too much effort for nothing, and we don't like it. So another change which I do expect to see, which I'm pretty sure is not going to happen, is forward 4 on its own hitting grounded without entering Zen. Some people might say, but Eddie, that's impossible. No, it is not. It is not impossible. Jin actually has a move that is similar. It's just the difference that this move doesn't hit grounded, but it's a move that has two different properties. For example, back 3 is 16 frames. Back 3 forward is 15 frames. What you also don't know is that back 3 has a different hitbox from back 3 forward, which has a much larger hitbox. So I believe this same concept can be applied to forward 4 and forward 4 into Zen. And just forward 4 hitting grounded without going into Zen would be a good thing. And going into Zen from it should remain as it is, but forward 4 without Zen should be able to hit grounded. But I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. Another change that is kinda possible, and that's where my money is on the change of Jin, is the down forward 4 transition into Zen. If you guys remember, I have a Jin school where I trolled with this move, saying that you can go into Zen from down forward 4, and if this happens, Jin is going to get much better Okizeme options after he pings opponents with a down forward 4, because he will be able to mix you up with, of course, Zen 4, Zen 2, and all the mix-up, just like the Kazakh setup. So it would be excellent for Jin to have this change, which we will wait and see to see if that's actually the Zen transition that he's going to get, because come on guys, it's going to be a Zen transition. And of course, Omen stance, which I already explained from Diggs, and there is also the mental alertness key charge. I'm not sure if many people remember this, but I do, and it's something that I did enjoy a lot from Jin since Tekken 4. He had it in Tekken 4, Tekken 5, Tekken 6 was the last where we have really seen this move being implemented extensively, but then it was taken out. And in Tekken Tag 2 it was only possible to key charge from this shitty move right here, of course, which was -5 on hit. And so the move I'm talking about is this one, sorry, not this one, this one. So if you had like 4-4 into down 1+2, 1+2, after you hit 4-4 or during hit, Jin would do this move, this animation, and then it would key charge while doing the animation. So when he did that, everything he hits is a counter hit launcher, is a counter hit. So if you do a forward 4, is a counter hit launcher. If you hit a standing 4, is a counter hit launcher. A down back 4, counter hit launcher. A back 3 is a counter hit launcher. Down forward 2. So it was something that Jin had going for him that made his electric like not necessarily being a launchable hit, but was still good, because hook fist on its own wouldn't launch, but on counter hit you would get that animation. So it was a mechanic that I did enjoy a lot, but not many people really liked it. But I really hope they bring this back, because it was godlike. So the moves you could transition into this key charge was forward 4, forward 1+2, the blade kick from Tekken 4 and Tekken 5 if not mistaken, and the AI could do it from the electric version of it. It could do from this one. If not mistaken, could do from Zen 1 2, Zen 1 or Zen 1 2 if not mistaken. Between one of these, one came later, but it was possible to do this. He also had from this, he was also able to key charge, and I believe this one was also able to key charge. So if this mechanic is back, it would be good to key charge from Zen 1+2, sorry, Zen 1+3, this one, of course, forward 4, down back 4, back 4, and 4-4-2, just to give you guys an idea of how this was. And this was godlike. It was really great. So there are two more changes And the first one is this power crash or power stance per se needs something to do, and this is the most useless move Jin has in the game now. And this move doesn't do anything. There is a gimmick that where you can uh, power crash stuff and then launch, but it needs to trade with the jab in order to this for this to work. So it's a pretty big gimmick because it needs to hit while the move is already out. So it's not really much of something to look out for. So this needs something to do. So give him the omen stance and the key charge from the mental alertness would be great. And in Tekken 5 he had a different thing. I believe it was if you did the power stance, while doing the power stance you hold 1+2 and then do down up back forward, then it would do this, right, like this, and then his electric will automatically come out with a omen key, and that will launch regardless. And it's not that it would launch you into a screw state, it will put you right up like an electric wind godfist. That was also good. He also had a omen hell sweep, which I do not remember the properties of it, but it was great. So either that one or these ones are either way are good with me. So this is what I do expect from Jin, but we know that we are not going to get any of this. The most likely is having a new transition into Zen, and my money is on down forward 4. Some people do have on 1 down 3 going into Zen, maybe even down 3, 1 down 3 into 2, or get a new animation just like maybe this, something to keep people honest on Tekken. And so but what in general do I expect from season 4? Of course Leroy needs to be toned down. I know Jin is going to be toned down. Falcon Ram needs his hitbox expanded because there is no way that character being that big and having moves whiffing on him, he has pushbacks on everything, moves that are so easy to do, that are safe, like for example his forward 1+2 is very threatening. He's standing 3 if not mistaken, he's forward 4, which is unpunishable at -13 with a great pushback, and he can go into a mix-up with that, with his hell sweep per se, Ramasura of course, and the mid, which is a counter hit launcher, which I'm going to show you in the future if I had time for it. But I do expect to see some changes in season 3. I don't really like the direction the game has gone with the power creep. Everyone does full combo damage that puts you at the wall and you then do big combos. This is not what Jin was about. I do not think that this is such a great move. The micro dash was fine. Now everyone has insane wall carry combos. I do not agree with this. Tekken used to be a game with neutral, and this is what I used to enjoy up to season 2, where I think the game was great. Of course there is going to be an improvement on the rollback netcode, and if that really works for the game, if it really gets us where we need to be, then I can start finally playing online and showcase my Jin a little bit more, because on the current internet it was really impossible. So if this fixes is going to be great, then awesome. So you guys will be able to see me playing more and more online in order to put some stuff out there, like besides tutorials, leveling up, playing on both sides as well, because I actually play mostly on the right side now, because on Tag 2 I used to play a lot on the left side. So in Tekken 7 I switch, I play on left side as well, but I do play mostly on right. So I tend to alternate in between when I spend too much time without playing, and it will be great. It would be nice to finally play most of you, make some lessons for it and stuff like that. So that's about it for Jin. And of course there are going to be new Jin schools coming out when season 4 comes out if necessary, but I'm really looking forward to what they are going to do with season 4. Of course, characters are already too much, but if Kunimitsu doesn't make to season 4, she's not going to be in the game, and we are not be able to wait for her anymore. But if that character is definitely Kunimitsu, if she is on season 4, do not kid yourself, guys, this is the channel to watch. Why I'm saying that? Because in tag 2 my team was Jin and Kunimitsu, and it had an insane synergy. Jin would do all the neutral work and Kunimitsu would do all the damage work. So if you guys know, my knowledge is pretty extensive with Jin. It's just as the same with Kunimitsu. Kunimitsu is a character that I do enjoy a lot. I love her pretty much because she is pretty much a Mortal Kombat character in Tekken games. She is a mix-up monster. She has insane mobility. She has unorthodox moves that can put you in better situations compared to the other characters. Like for example, she can teleport, she can jump off to another side, she can run, she has full crush mix-ups, she has a 12 frame mid that has insane range, she has a counter hit move that is safe while she advances, she has a lot of great stuff. What she really didn't had in tag 2 was a decent low. She didn't have a decent low, but that really didn't stop her for being great. I know there wasn't much of a great players of Kunimitsu out there. Back then I didn't had streaming services back then, online features, but my Kunimitsu was the G. I remember I have won a tournament using these two teams. Back in the day, I wasn't much experienced in Tekken, but even then, the guys that were much stronger than me recognized my Kuni because she got me to the finals, and I was the first guy to lose in the tournament, to go to the loser brackets, and spent the entire tournament in the losers, facing strong after strong people, winning by a pixel against some guys. Even defeated Smith in the top 8, then Gillen Martins, which was pretty strong back then, and then defeated the guy that came and said that he's going to kick our ass in the community, and actually won. So that gave my team two names. One was Team Akatsuki because Kunimitsu used to have a black costume that resembled the Akatsuki costume. And of course the other was the Team Jin Kuni, which was made with Jin and Kunimitsu. So she had two names. So I'm looking forward to that character in this game because she is that amazing. She is pretty crazy with mix-ups. She has a lot of things. And I have been preparing myself for this moment. If actually happens, I do have a lot of Music Ninja related ever since. And I have been planning how to make Kunimitsu schools and stuff like that are going to blow your minds, guys. Believe me, Kunimitsu is crazy, and I'm just as crazy as Kunimitsu, just as crazy as Jin. So let's pray that Kunimitsu is going to be in season 4, and this is a channel to watch, guys. I'm telling you, this is a channel to watch. So I'm not going to prolong this as much because I think this is rather long. So see you guys on the next video.